It's Friday, October 24th. The sun's shining today. Quite nice outside. So we've done a number of things already. Got some laundry on the line, some already in. It's nice to have the sun shine again after some rainy, cold, but we didn't get any of those snowflakes. Well, some time ago, sometimes kind of a general term, so somewhere between 30 and 50 years ago, there was a saying went around the country: will success spoil Rock Hudson? Well, I don't know if it did or didn't. And I suppose the whole idea of putting that saying out and having it make the rounds was just to get his name in front of the public. I think he was successful, and I expect it spoiled him a little. Success will spoil you. Well, I'm sort of aware that I might not get to do all I'd like to do and cover every one of the jobs and communities I've served, and the wonderful kids and some of the stories about the kids and the teachers and so on. So I'm going to give a little overview, raising the question: did success spoil me, Dean Riggs? Did failure ruin me, Dean Riggs? Was I overall a success or a failure? Well, my family has to be the judge, and any of you that care a darn, welcome, be the judge. I do know that, getting right out of high school and joining the Army, making sergeant, marrying my sweetheart, hey, I felt real good there in 46 and 47. I get out, enroll in college, go out for the basketball team, starting in the second semester. The team's been playing for months, weeks at least. So I made it to the B team and got to play a heck of a lot. I like that. I like to play basketball. And I had a job, worked for the college, hauling bricks, digging them out of a basement. Always worked as well as school and athletics. Well, then spring came, I made the baseball team, but that first baby was due, dropped out, became a father, got a job as a hospital custodian. Yeah, I felt pretty successful. Sure did. Proud of that mama, proud of that baby. Well, got that degree in 2.5 years, always working. In fact, the last school year, 49-50, I also taught half-time. That's quite a half-time job when you're carrying 21 hours of college on the side. I went to every class that you could get in the afternoon and evening. Then, recalled, go before a board, become an officer, pretty proud of that. Did my duty, didn't like the war, came out first lieutenant, stacked a few dead bodies, carried a few dead guys off the battlefield. Did my duty. I guess I felt successful, but I didn't like war, and it wasn't the thing I really wanted to do a lot of. Well, got out at the middle of the school year, so went down to Peabody at Nashville, Tennessee, got a master's degree in school administration, came back up, taught and coached at Coates, Kansas for a year, had a basketball team that got us to the district. The son of my former coach said, dang, I've been coaching for years, this is my first year to be at the district, and you come out here 1 year and you're there, so I felt pretty darn successful. And I wanted to get into school administration and go down to Hartner, Kansas, put in 2 years. Enjoyed it. Big challenge. Enjoyed it. Thought I was doing well. Said, do you mind, guys, board members, if I give it a try to move up a couple of classes? They said, if you can do it, do it. And go out to Elkhart, Kansas. Took a pretty rough assignment. I was very proud of what I did at Elkhart, Kansas. I'd set some goals, met them in 3 years, decided to move up, and ended up getting a call and going down to Phillips University. Director of Teacher Education at age 30. You bet I felt successful, probably too successful. Got us into NCATE, and then found out that they really didn't want to expand teacher ed, so I ended up going to Jefferson County, a year as an elementary principal, 5 years as junior high principal, and as a junior high principal probably did the best work of my career. That was another tough assignment. I was very, very proud of what I did there. And incidentally, the only 2 times I ever got a standing ovation was from that faculty and student body at the last assembly before I left. And then when Don and I came back to the dedication of the new Evergreen Junior High School, and that faculty and that community gave me a standing ovation when I was introduced. That'll go to your head a little. 2 years at Sheridan? Hey, wow, big time politics. 3rd largest. Well, they argued with another town, but they felt the 3rd largest. They had a state senator from there. And somebody told me, hey, you just didn't realize, you weren't sophisticated enough for the kind of a place you were in there. But I did a lot of good. I got my contract bought up after 2 years, blindsided, and the local TV station announcing that it was necessary for my removal in order to return the control of the school system to the school board. I think the board member said he didn't know his place. Maybe had it a little more to the straight and narrow. Well, go down to Alamosa, and I've said quite a bit about Alamosa along the way already, and I'll say some more about it if time and life permits. There 6 years. Really, really happy at Evergreen. Really happy at Alamosa. It was hard. Lots of politics. The Colorado Education Association got after me, and between them and the teachers that wanted more power, they got me, but I'm proud of what I did there for darn sure. Then a year as principal at the neighboring school, La Jolla, Colorado, the principal of the high school there, Centauri High. Challenging, fun. I have a lot to say about it if I ever get around to it. Well, then I went out to Somerton, 6 years. At the end of the 6 years, the contract's not renewed. I think the big thing was I'd wanted to do some research on is or is not it true that bilingual education is bad or good. Racist board member that said he didn't want to ever hear that word again, and I made the mistake of saying, as long as I'm superintendent, I'll recommend what I think's right for the kids. Not a wise politician, not a wise leader in that case. Well, from there, he ended up at, after coming back into Kansas, trying to take care of my sweet old dad, to keep him out of a rest home. He ended up having to put him in one anyway, and went back and finished a year, and then did a year at Ash Fork, Arizona. And from there back to Colorado, where I needed to go to get a decent retirement. I spent a couple of years there at a principal that I recommended while I was there, who came in and was undermining me, and I made it clear I will not work with him. And so the board ended up getting rid of both of us. Again, not a very smart politician. Came back to Arizona, went down to Gadsden, coached and taught, had a great deal of success teaching English to these little Mexican-American kids, making them and me look good because their scores soared. Did a lot of coaching, had the only team I ever coached that was never defeated. Also had some teams that never won a game. It's been a great ride, and I feel like it was a lot of success, and yes, some failure. I don't think I'm a failure overall, but time and individuals get to make that decision.